Welcome to the Dreams of Consciousness podcast. If the two of you would be so kind, would you mind introducing yourselves?
Yeah, I'm Gus Barr, lead guitar.
I am Cole Jacobsen. I'm the other guitar. Is that the right word? Other guitar and vocals.
For the band, for the name of
Correct.
your
Yep,
band.
for Lago.
Oh yeah, we're in Lago. We should mention that.
Yeah.
And guys, how would you describe the music of Lago?
Well, we are a. I guess do we say dissonant death metal bands? We're a death metal band. I
Yeah.
think traditionally a lot of the kind of Florida influences there a little bit with the dissonant era of Gorguts. I think if like Immolation and Morbid Angel and Gorguts had a kid, it would probably be kind of in the ballpark of what we're doing. At least now, last couple records. Early on, not so much, but
If
yeah.
Immolation and Gorguts had a kid, that would probably be a really weird kid, huh?
Yeah.
Uh, Gus, did you want to add anything to that?
No, I mean he pretty much wrapped it up. I mean, I think we're both pretty rooted in old school death metal stuff. We definitely, I don't know, I guess get into some of the weirder side of things like with the Gorgut stuff, but I don't know, a lot of it's just riffs and Morbid Angel and Immolation and other shit like that.
Yeah. When you guys started off, did you already have those elements in place? Did you already feel do you feel that your early stuff still had that Immolation and Gorguts kind of feeling to it?
Early on, not so much. Early on, so Gus wasn't in to begin. Gus joined 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
It's been a while, but Gus joined a couple years before our Sea of Duress record came out. I feel like it was a lot more like Morbid Angel meets, I don't know, Emperor, kind of not full on Emperor, but like that black metal style. And it kind of just morphed in. I think when Gus joined, well, first he wasn't joining Lago. Like it was just me and him jamming to do something else, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of wanting to go, a different direction. Like the dissonant stuff I was really into. Like it's unpopular opinion to a lot of metalheads. I'm sorry, but like, yeah, Gorguts, from Wisdom to Hate on, that's like my favorite era. Not that I don't love the first two records. I think the first two records are incredible, but I don't know. I just enjoyed that style. I kind of, I'm into other stuff too. I'm a big Neurosis fan, so I kind of like a lot of that weird build up to a point. Kind of you can see in some of our songs they're long as shit. Some people aren't into a 7-minute death metal song, but bands like Ulcerate, like I really love that. I like a band that you don't just sit down and listen to one song. It's like you're sitting down with a beer or a joint and you're listening to a whole record. It's like a whole experience, I guess, to sound pretentious, but yeah, it wasn't that early on. It kind of the farther along the band went. I wouldn't say I got bored with the older stuff. It just felt that I wasn't going to do anything new or something that interested me. I think when Gus hopped on board, he was kind of in the same boat I was. I feel like, I don't know, Gus.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think to sum that up, the consistent thing is that Morbid Angel has always been a piece of the sound, and
Yes.
we're just going into varying ways with it. I think we both also got more. I don't know. We've both leaned into like the gateways, formulas era of, and some of the heretic stuff, but of Morbid Angel as well. And I don't know. For me, that came from just I think getting a bit burned out on some of the Steve Tucker, or no, I'm sorry, I'm talking about Evil D stuff,
Evil
and,
D.
and just
Fuck yeah.
getting a bit tired because I'd listened to the fuck out of that.
It's
So it was
radical.
just kind of yeah, it was just cool to get into something I don't know, more exciting. And there were some newer bands that we were into, like I mean, Artificial Brain and some of the stuff that was just getting just a little outside of the box was cool too. So I think that kind of lent into the move of where we've kind of gone as well. But yeah, I don't know. I still think that there was elements of some of it, though. I definitely think the Morbid Angel was there on that old stuff. I think that the blackened evilness of some of it kind of does still lend to the immolation stuff too.
Yeah. Cole, what were your goals when you first put this project together? What did you want to accomplish with Lago?
Uh, honestly, I didn't. I was just looking to maybe. So I started the band like with 4 or 5 months left when I was in the Marine Corps still. Um, so I was driving home from to Arizona from California on the weekends and jamming with our very first drummer, and like I didn't really have much of a plan other than maybe record something for myself. Because I always wanted to do, like, I was in other death metal bands, but like I was never like the main contributor that ran it or whatever. Like I was in other people's bands, so it was, I can kind of get my own project going sort of vibe. But it took on a life of its own once we got a couple members and we recorded the track, and then I posted like the track on the Metal Archives board or something in like 2000, early 2010, and like had multiple people reach out to us. It was like the first track on our Marianas EP, and because we recorded that like 3 or 4 months before the rest of the EP actually. So really, it was like just a project for myself, and then people were interested in it, so it kind of grew some wheels to it and became like an actual band that played shows. So yeah, initially it wasn't. It was just kind of something to do to kill time, and here we are, like close to 20 years later, still doing it.
So you mentioned Gus joined before the Sea of Duress album. Gus, how did you know Cole, and how did you feel about Lago? Were you a fan of the band before you joined?
So as far as getting to know Cole, I think it came from this group that we used to be in out here. We were just trolling people. And
Talking shit
we
to people in the scene.
Is there
Not like the metal scene, but like the old dad rock,
yeah,
fucking garage band hero scene dorks. But yeah,
okay. I was hoping there's like a death metal bowling league somewhere in Phoenix. That would be awesome.
the fuck, it could be if someone wants to come join.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so I think we kind of chatted around in there and got along fine, and then went from there. He saw that I was playing guitar, and he randomly just hit me up one day asking if I was interested in doing anything else, and it just kind of went from there. You asked a second part to that question. What was it about?
Just your feelings on Lago as a band, because I think
Oh,
the early stuff was different than the stuff that you guys created together. So
yeah. So I knew Lago. I knew who they were. I wasn't like actively listening or anything. I couldn't say that I was like a big fan, but I was also like a thrash kid. I mean, I I wear white high tops for a reason. But yeah, so like I liked death metal, but I wasn't really actively focused in on that scene. I was more in the thrash scene and really into weird like proggy thrash shit. And but I was playing a lot, and he saw me playing some shit and thought I would be okay enough to come jam with that new project he was talking about. And then it just kind of went from there, where I don't remember exactly what led to it, but one day he's like, what would you think about just doing Lago? I was like, I'm down as long as you're okay with me like assisting with writing stuff. And he was on board with that. And then it just kind of has gone from there. And it worked out, kind of melded into the whole thing. I learned old shit. I got a feel for what they were kind of going for. But even when I joined with him, he was wanting to do something different. than what he had done prior as well. So it wasn't like we have to do exactly this. It's like we can take some of this, but feel free to like let's do some weird shit and have fun with it. So it was really cool.
When you guys write songs for the band, does it always start with the two of you jamming together?
Mm,
I feel like Sia Duress it did a little bit more.
yeah,
Obviously, different points in our life. I was married, but I have two kids now, so it's we'll meet for practice. But back then, it was like we'd hang out, have beers, and like it was a little more jamming together then and there, creating songs. But um, yeah, definitely then it was. So
yeah, it's different now. I mean, we'll both riff around, I think, at home and just send each other ideas of what we're kind of doing. And I mean, that's a lot of how this was written. Is like he'd shoot me a riff or two, like in one day or some shit he was working on, and I would record it here at home and put together a demo of it and send it back and hear what do you think about this. I'd program out drums and I'd put bass and shit on it and just tinker with it and like add my side to it. Or I'd send him some riffs. Hey, I'm thinking about this. What do you think about this? You like it? Cool. Let me see what I can do with it. But it's cool. It turned out like, thinking back about it, like looking at it, um, I made the comment the other day on that shit I posted, but it's easy to forget who wrote what on a lot of this stuff, but not just because like I feel like we were on the same page and what we were wanting here, but also because like he pitched so much shit over and I just would work it in and kind of construct stuff off of it to where I feel like it's a pretty 50-50 split of ideas or riffs and stuff. It's
yeah,
nice.
there's not a single song on the new record that was all me or all him. Like whereas the previous record, there's multiple songs that I did everything and then he did everything.
Yeah.
Granted, it's the same vibe sort of, so like it wasn't like a problem. But this was the first record where it was like full me and him meshed.
It sounds like the songs are pretty complete as far as the demos with the program drums. It sounds like the songs are pretty complete by the time Garrett and Brian hear them. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I would say that's fair. I mean, for all of it, yeah, I would assemble everything here, and when I give them a demo of what it sounded like, it had both guitars on there. I usually had some scratch solos on it just to kind of indicate this is where this is, and I would put the general idea of what I heard the drums to be in my head, and then Brian took them and he really rolled with it a lot and added a lot of cool stuff. But yeah, pretty much the foundation of what I wanted the grooves to be or what I was hearing or kind of what I knew he would explain to kind of where he wanted the snare and stuff or the type of beat he's thinking, which is really nice. Being able to do that is cool because with like Sia Duress, we spent a lot of time in the room sitting on a riff and Neil would play stuff and I'm like, all right, here I'm hearing more of this. And we would spend a lot of time on that. Whereas with this, it's a lot easier to convey, like not just trying to explain to someone like what you hear on an instrument you don't play, but also like just being able to show like generally this is kind of the vibe that I'm going for. So it was cool. I liked that.
So at the time we're having this conversation, you guys just released your third album, which is called Vigil, which was released through Everlasting Spew Records. We we spoke a little bit about the evolution your sound has taken from the first album to now, and having a more collaborative process for this album between the two of you. But aside from those two things, how would you describe this album, and how would you describe the difference between this album and your previous albums?
I feel like it's a lame answer, but to me, it was just kind of the next step. It's kind of to me, it's like what I wish Sia Duress would have been a little bit more. Because, like I said, me and I wrote multiple songs by myself. He wrote multiple songs by himself. Though we did like the record, we were proud of it. Um, it we didn't collaborate, which is a weird way to put it because we didn't. There was no issues, but it felt like more of a group effort on this one. And obviously, I feel like the intensity of the record is quite a bit more. Like we were just talking about this before we got on. Like it's 42 minutes. It just goes like it's constant. Like whereas the last record, I don't feel like was as involved. But I also like I don't know we. It didn't seem intentional either. We just wrote it, and it was like, oh man, this is what it is. So, I don't know. I don't feel like we had like a plan. It was just like, here's the riffs. Let's work it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, when we finally, because I mean, obviously it took us 8 years, right? We had written a whole nother record that we scrapped, and then we kind of fizzled out for a couple years, and it was mostly through COVID, and then a couple years after that, and then every like 6 months he'd text me and like, maybe we should do this again, and then we'd kind of like, I'd be like, no, I don't know. We'd wait, and then eventually I was like, all right, let's try something, and I threw together just something to have like, hey, here's some riff ideas, some shit we can start with, and we scrapped that, but it was something to get us kind of going to show like, hey, we can still write some of this stuff. And but that was really it. I mean, I think our intentions weren't to try to compete with what we had done before. I don't think we had intentions of like, this needs to be this. It was a lot of just like, let's have fun and write stuff we like. And if we don't like it, we'll tell each other if we don't like it, we'll move on and we won't worry about it. It's like, let's have fun. Which was cool. I don't know. I feel like it came out nicer because of that. Like, yeah. I feel super stoked on it. I feel like it sounds inspired, or like we were really like gelling together, like everything. I'm happy with really all of it.
Out of curiosity, how far did you get with the music that was scrapped? Did it get to the demo stage?
Songs were written, didn't have vocals or anything, but we had 8 songs, right? Or
8 or 9 songs. There's like
old
program drums.
Yeah, everything was written, and it was to the point of, okay, let's start writing the vocals and let's start planning production time. And then that was right before COVID?
Yeah, 2019.
So yeah, when that happened, it turned into obviously pause for a lot of things in the world, as we all saw. And then we kind of didn't do anything. Our old drummer moved. We were dropped by the previous label, which whatever. And it turned into like 2-3 years where we didn't do anything. Yeah, it was like 3 years in between shows.
Yeah.
I mean, we played a show right 2-3 weeks before COVID got hot, and it just blew up. And it was 3 years after that. So it's kind of a blur at this point. Like, I mean, I know it's been 8 years, but like, I don't.
6
there's
years.
Like or whatever. Like there's some years in there that don't count, that we don't really consider. Where we hit a point where we kind of weren't doing it, and then I would ping him every once in a while, show him stuff, or hey, maybe we should just try a different thing. Or I think that was another kind of what we're maybe doing, like let's do a different thing. Yeah. And then we started writing it like, this is fucking Lago, like this is the band. Like then our old drummer, I think if Brian wouldn't have been down, I think it would have probably been a different band.
It probably would have fallen apart.
Or that. Yeah. Because that was a bummer. Like Neil, our previous drummer, he's a good friend of ours. Obviously he moved, had his own thing going on. But Brian was our previous drummer on Tyranny, and good friend. And the fact that he wanted to get back in there, it really pumped some life back into it, I feel like. And obviously Gus on the production side with everything he does here. Brian's the same. Brian recorded the whole fucking record. Yeah. Brian's just kind of one of those dudes. If he's into something, like he knows how to do it. mean, Jesus Christ, if these two weren't in the band, we probably would not even hear writing songs. Like, if I had to set up the Zoom interview, it never would have happened. So, but yeah, it's been an interesting ride.
I'm just I'm fascinated by the idea that you guys had a whole album and just decided you didn't like it. Like I'm, is it was it just you didn't feel like it was what you liked a few years later, or you wanted to push the music in another direction from what you had done
I
previously?
thought there's good songs. We still have the demo tracks on our Dropbox, and like we've even thought about maybe going in there and like just taking. Well, so one is in drop A. We tuned to B standard now, so there would have to be some reworking. But we've thought about maybe going through and like reviewing some of it and pillaging some of it because there's a lot of good material in there. But I think it was just the timeline of the world and everything that went down, and like, our lives changed a little bit. We're all homeowners in career land, stuff like that. I I think we hit a point to like go, oh, we're just going to go back in time 3 years and rehash all this stuff that was about finished and relearn it. Or like, if we're going to do it, let's just fucking start it over. Was I don't know. We could go back and look at it, but to me, it would feel lazy at this point. And not to mention the new record, I think is, at least from what I can play or what I can write, is way better than what we had potentially wrote 3 years ago.
Yeah, I think, I mean, like Cole said, there's good stuff in there. I don't think it was anything shit. I mean, it was really a kind of a direct follow up to what Cia Duress was. I don't think it deviated too far from that. But I don't know. I definitely felt like it could have been better. There's songs in there that I was pretty stoked about. There was some of it that I felt like we could have done better on, perhaps. But I don't know. Didn't hate it. But I think kind of what Cole's saying is, at least for me personally, I have a hard time going back to stuff. I guess I'm more of a forward thinker with it. If I've done something and if it's really something I think is great, I might rehash it and try to go back to it. But for the most part, like, I'm a very different musician or player than I was when I wrote that, or, anything I wrote back then. And he is too, and what we listen to and stuff. Like, I feel like if we had put that out now, for instance, and we'd probably be like, okay, cool. It's out there.
I mean, we're like that with songs we play live. Like, we're going to do an album release show for this one in June, and we're playing 3 old songs, and it's like, I fucking wrote the songs and don't even remember how to play them. So like, we've been remembering like how to get them figured out. Yeah, I kind of hate when bands do that shit. They don't play old stuff sometimes, but I also get it. It's like, you're so wrapped up in what you're doing now that, granted, we don't have fucking 500 people coming to a show to see us. Like, I think if we did, they would say, hey, could you play the first EP? I would probably do it a lot quicker, but I get it. Like, we're really just into what we're doing at the moment.
So, as you mentioned, your drummer Brian handled the production for this album, uh, all the way to the master.
Yep.
Everything.
Wow. Does Brian have his own studio?
So he does it on his own. He has a couple things like set up at his house, but he's not got like a proper big fancy studio
or practice.
Yeah, I mean, we legitimately we recorded everything there. Drums, we reamped the guitars there, the bass, we got vocals done there. So he's got a lot of outboard equipment that he's got all set up, like, and at his house he's got all this shit. But he's got tons of plugins and shit with his DAW. He's got a sound treated room and all these speakers. So like, it's not like a professional production room or anything, but he's got it set up where he can get a lot of stuff done. And he's really put a lot of time into upgrading that room and everything. But yeah, it's not like an official studio by any means. And he's not like actively recording other people in his studio or anything like that. It's entirely something he does kind of for leisure. Like he enjoys it.
And also, it's extremely practical. Like I've spoken to a number of bands who have at least one guy in the band who has an audio engineering or production background, and it just simplifies things. Even if they go to a different studio, at least they have somebody who can handle the pre-pro. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it makes a huge difference. And I think that's a huge piece of like how this was put together versus like previous is since we had so much control over all of that, like if there was feedback on a mix, it was easy to describe. But he'd also been in the room with us as we hash through and learn how to play this stuff and listen to it. So he also knows what we're wanting out of it because he's involved in it. And plus, it helps because it saves you a bunch of money. So that's
And
cool
it gave
too.
us time to like get it right, or at least what right was for us. I mean, I came in like day one to do the first two vocal tracks, and like in my mind, I worked on it really hard. Like Gus and Brian after the fact, they're like, yeah, this wasn't your best effort, which I was kind of butthurt for a couple days. But like, I don't know, we had an opportunity to sit there and listen to it and like dive into it and let it sink in for a few days. Whereas, previous time it was like, oh, we paid for 8 hours and whatever the fuck we can do in this 8 hours is it. Um, this gave us an opportunity to go, oh shit, yeah, well maybe you could deliver the vocals with this sort of cadence here, or maybe do a long drawn out thing here. We really gotta dissect it. Not that I'm doing anything real like intense delivery wise, but with everything on it, like guitar parts, or like we really gotta spend some time figuring out how we wanted to get it right for us.
Yeah, and I mean, just to blow more smoke and air up Brian's ass, but he's also a vocalist too. So
Yeah.
having him in, because when it comes to vocal stuff, I'm pretty useless. I don't do vocals. I'm focused on the guitars, but Brian, he's got that side of him too. So he was able to come up with some different ideas. Like even there was a part, I don't remember which part it was, but you had kind of an idea for what you wanted the high vocals to be. So while we were figuring that out,
fodder.
yeah,
Ding,
Brian did some scratch vocal.
He would play
in
Garrett,
yeah,
basically, and then we would show it to Garrett and like, hey, this is kind of the idea we want you to do, and it really helped get a lot of that stuff across, almost like homework, and helped study for when we finally did the final product.
Cole, I've been asking all the vocalists I speak to this. It's like an informal survey, but do you double track your vocals?
Most of the time, no. Parts, if there's like a word I want to like be a little more prominent, that surprises people a lot, that I don't double track. Every band I've ever done vocals in fluids, I didn't fucking double track. This one, like certain words, every once in a while, it's 90% just one vocal
probably
track.
more than that.
Or, yeah, maybe. Just I don't know, my vocals, I sound like a bear, I guess. So
That's the way it should be. In terms of the production, the finished sound of the album, what did you want Brian to bring? What did you want the finished album to sound like?
Good question.
I don't feel like we put a lot of work into things, but there's like never a plan. With everything, like every record, I mean, there's stuff that we were listening to real hard at the time, but like it wasn't that's what we wanted it to sound like. I fucking like Gorgut's Palladia's Dust was like one of the favorite releases I'd heard in a long time, but like I didn't want the production to be exactly that. We definitely took some records and like, oh hey, it'd be cool if the drums kind of had this vibe, or the guitars, but like it kind of, we hit a point and it's like, this is just what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe you have
No,
a better picture. Like I always, everything we've ever done, I kind of have an idea, and it kind of ends up being just what it ended up being. And like, I mean, I'm kind of production wise dumb. As long as it sounds good, I'm like, all right, cool. This is the record. Him and Brian, have a little more ear for it. As you can tell, I'm leaning into the computers. I'm half deaf.
no, I don't know. I mean, I think what Cole said that resonates the most with me is that we just let it be what it was going to be. Like that came up quite a bit. It wasn't like, I think it's unhealthy if you're trying to compare it to something else all the time, because you're going to have this idea, you're going to get that out of it, but you're your own thing. You're doing your own music, and it should sound like it's going to sound. So, I mean, we've got, it basically is recorded in the sense that this is what we sound like live.
Yeah.
Like these are both of our amps panned.
Yep.
We've got our drummer, and those are his drums recorded right there. The bass, same shit. Like it's exactly what you're going to get.
We do get that a lot from people that have seen us. Like you guys, it sounds live like what the record sounds like. I've gotten that, like, big conversations with people before. Hey, you guys really just sound like your record. So I guess to answer your question is just to be us. That was the idea.
Yeah.
Lame answer. Sorry.
Production wise, is clarity important for you guys?
For me, it is. He likes a dirtier guitar, a little bit dirtier production. I play out of my head's a Mesa Boogie Mark 5, so I use the Mark 4 setting, and it's just a really crisp, punchy. It's not a dirty amp. I really, I think the more popular band that uses probably Lamb of God, which their guitar tone's not what we're doing, but I like something about the clarity of that amp. I've always really loved. I bought it right when it came out. Like I wanted to get a Mark IV forever, and they didn't make them for years. And then when the Mark V came out, I fucking used my home buyer tax credit on an amp instead of stuff for my home. But he obviously, you got an Angle?
No, I have a EVH 3
right,
Stealth.
right. So he likes a little bit dirtier, and it blends and it works. So it's like it's never caused any issues. But I think that's about the only place where me and him really kind of like
A little different.
On
yeah. So like with his, like he was describing his tone. So mine, like the EVH is nice. Like it gets definitely, it's dirtier, but it still has some clarity in the notes and everything. So it was kind of a good pairing, because his will accent stuff where mine might add some heft or something. It's cool.
I think I literally used John Petrucci's settings for the EQ. The little different settings for the rest of the stuff, but the EQ, like I said, I like clean and crisp. And I don't know, sometimes it works real well with some of the stuff we do, sometimes not as much, but the blend, that's where his amp kind of comes in and sounds really great. Picks up the, where it's lacking balls on my end.
Yeah, it works. It works really well. And like production wise, like he's definitely, like he said, clarity is a big thing for him. It was on See It to Rest too. Like he's got an ear for that. I listen to a bunch of like shit that sounds like it was recorded in a bathroom with like a fucking like play mic or something. I don't know, like old demos. Like I love a bunch of shit.
I do too. I just, for what I've always done, I like the clarity.
Yeah. So the album is out now. Are you guys going to get a chance to tour or play any live shows in support?
Tour, I don't want to say no, but it just depends. How do we not sound lame?
Well, I think
do you guys have any festival appearances planned or anything like that for the rest of the year?
No one's reached out to us. I mean, that's the other thing too. I've never been a dude to like chase down writers or like show promoters. I think that's been like a lot of our problem. I've never been a great networker because I hate that stuff. I hate bothering people. But if whatever fest calls us, or hits us up, we're all ears for an opportunity to go play. It's just, it has to present itself, I guess. I'm not going to go chasing something down.
Yeah, and I mean, we've talked about doing some maybe like, weekend runs here and there to certain things or whatever, just trying to work it out with the band. Like he said earlier, I mean, we're all in, work land, and we all have homes and wives and stuff. So we're a bit of homebodies and stuff at that point too. So it's hard to always justify utilizing your PTO for something like that when you've got other people in your life. But like you said, if the right thing came up, I think we would be down to. It just has to be the right time and the right thing.
How about the 2027 Lago headlined Death Metal Bowling Alley Tour? What do you guys think of that?
Dude, I'm in. Let's fucking do it.
So, Vigil is out now through Everlasting Spew Records. Gus and Cole, please tell everyone how they can order the new album. What's the best way to get it?
At this moment in time, directly from Everlasting Spew. However, they are working. They just announced it like, a day ago. So they are setting up with obviously getting it. If you're ordering it in the U.S. right now, you're subject to some tariffs, I guess. Not to get all wildly political. That's another drunken conversation. But it sucks right now to get international shipping. Those rates are crappy. So Everlasting Spew is setting up U.S. merch stores with Silent Future, Indie Merch Store, and Night Shift merch. That's coming in the next couple of weeks. We'll have copies ourselves at our own merch stores, our Big Cartel. It'll be available on our Bandcamp.
Okay.
Yeah, or come to our show in Phoenix and June 12th. Even if you live in New York,
Yeah.
just make the freaking 3-day drive.
Hang out.
That's what's kind of funny talking to some people like in Europe about, hey, you guys want to play this show? And say, yeah, well, New York's not really down the road.
Yes.
It's a 3-day drive, man.
And I believe Everlasting Spew is putting this out on CD and cassette. Is that correct?
Yeah, and then vinyl in the fall.
Vinyl in the fall. Okay. And if people want to follow the band online and get updates on tours and hit you guys up for some bowling, what's the best way to do that?
What's Lago Metal AZ?
Yeah, the Instagram. I always confuse my email, the email we have with it for it's Lago Metal AZ on Instagram. And then if you just look up Lago on Facebook. Unfortunately, sometimes you'll get Mar-a-Lago. I guess if you're into Donald Trump's hotel, oh man, we're getting a lot of that shit sometimes. Oh, like, fuck you, no, stop it,
distance us from that.
So be careful. It'll be our logo. It's us.
Yeah.
If you look it up. And then we do have a Twitter. X.
Mm-hmm.
I don't ever use it because fucking that site sucks in my opinion. But I think I posted that we were releasing the album, but that's Lago. I think it's just Lago AZ. But it doesn't matter because X sucks. I mean, look at how unprepared I am for this interview, looking at my phone to figure out what our social medias are. They wonder, where have these guys been for 8 years?
We've got the Lago OnlyFans as well.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Nice.
Racy pictures of me bowling. What the hell is it? It's Lago AZ is what the X handle is.
Guys, it's really nice chatting with you.
I think we have a Discord that we never use, so don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think that's a good way to socialize anyway.
Yeah, fucking know. I'm old. I'm a boomer.
Guys, it's really nice chatting with you. Is there anything else you want to say? Anything else you want listeners to know about the new album?
I don't know. There's anything specific. I want to say thanks to everyone. Being away as long as we've had a lot of people just say, "Hey, where are you guys? What are you doing?" you know, that's meant a lot. You know, you don't really think that people care about your music. You know, obviously we're not we're not U2 or you know Metallica. We don't have legions of fans, but you know when you have random people hitting you up over the past 8 years, hey, when's the next record? It always means a lot to hear. So, you know, for the people that were asking where we were, I'm stoked we're back, and I hope they enjoy Vigil.
Yeah, I would say the same. I mean, I'm really grateful that people still care. It definitely meant a lot through the years of people reaching out, but even now, like the reception's been really positive. Everyone's been so very kind and supportive, and it's cool. So you know, we do love to hear that stuff. So if you do want to reach out and say hi or anything, feel free to.
Reach
It's
out and
always
tell
cool.
us how much
Yes.
you love it.
Yes, yeah. But yeah, no, we're really proud of it. We're stoked and just glad that people are still interested to listen to something that we fucked around with for a while and finally got to put out.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.